Already a scrum along the sideline. And they're going to say it is TCU basketball. Already an unusual start to this game. So TCU in the black, K-State in the white. We already got Jamie Dixon worried about the possession arrow standing right in front of us. Coach Driscoll now wants an explanation.
Yeah, because right there, Kansas State had possession of the basketball, then went out of bounds.
Yes. So TCU is saying we should get the ball and have the possession arrow in our favor.
Yeah, they do, because it's a turnover on the first possession. So
exactly.
It should be TCU's basketball next possession.
All of that in the first 4 seconds of the game. So buckle in, folks. First three on the way is short from Edmonds. And K-State has their first official possession. Take a look at the starting five for interim head coach Matthew Driscoll. Johnson, McGriff, a couple of the seniors honored today here. Last home game played by K-State. They came out and played arguably their best game of the year and beat Baylor here in what was Coach Driscoll's first game as the interim head coach. Shot clock at 2, and Nate Johnson in and out. TCU starting five for head coach Jamie Dixon. A team that has won 5 of their last 6 Big 12 games. Aiden Pierre finds punch. David. Being defended by Maddox. Shot clock at 6. Punch. Trying to find an outlet. It's Michael Robinson who has to shoot a 3 with the shot clock winding down. Missed the rim, but on the offside, here comes Nate Johnson.
And that was just a great defensive possession right there by K-State. And you got what you want. No dribble penetration. You stayed solid and forced a bad shot.
McGriff the handoff to Haggerty. PJ, 30-point game in that first meeting with TCU. From the corner 3, Castillo off the front rim. Loose ball going after it. McGriff fires a fastball off the back of Edmonds. And it's going to be K-State ball. Jamie Dixon, season number 10 here at his alma mater. Second most wins in school history.
That's an area, Mark. We talked about Kamari McGriff getting that offensive rebound. I mean, that right there is an area in which he has to be used. They were dominated down low. When you look at what Punch and Edmonds was able to do in the first matchup, they dominated the interior of Kansas State. So pay attention to the glass.
It's a really athletic move by McGriff on that inbounds pass here to contort himself to put it in. Now Pierre elects to take a 2. Knocks it down and ties the game and has the first bucket for the Horned Frogs.
And that's just a great decision right there by Pierre. The pump fake hasn't been playing well. That's a good sign.
Nate Johnson's 3 attempt. Rimmed right out. Punch in a crowd, fights it up off the glass. It kicks off as well, and Manning has the rebound this time. Haggerty trying to back down Harding. There's the help. And that steal, near steal, really created by the help defense coming that time from Edmonds.
And that's a great double, because when you look at it, they're putting Brock Harding on Haggerty, so he automatically has a size advantage. So Edmonds comes on the low side, and Jaden Pierre does a really good job of getting in front of Kamari McGriff to not allow that easy dump down pass. So good double, and Haggerty has to know from now on, when he tries to go post up, where they're sending the double from and be able to create out of that.
So about 2.5 minutes into the game, TCU off to a 1 of 5 start from the field. A couple of missed threes. And K-State 1 of 4. They have a couple of missed threes. Again, a huge game here for TCU for their tournament resume. Edmonds pass over the top, punch, one-arm reception. It still has the strength in a crowd to lay that in.
And with K-State switching 1 through 5 on all of your off-ball screens, look for TCU to take advantage, because that's exactly what just happened.
An open Haggerty 3, and that one rims out. The rim has not been kind to K-State to begin the game on that end. Brock Harding. Robinson. Bounce pass Edmonds. Punch has it again. He's trying to go to work, but there's the help defense from Manning. That pass almost picked off by Nate Johnson. Shot clock at 6. Harding trying to create, spinning around. Open 3 now. Robinson scores it. That possession didn't look like it was going really anywhere for TCU, but they found the open Robinson at the last moment.
That's excellent relocation by him. Great shooters understand, get to the open spot.
Manning took the bounce pass. That's partially blocked. Run out Edmonds. Got a 7-0 run here for TCU after K-State had the first bucket of the game. Punch gets stripped. Castillo came around the offside to take it away. Castillo tried to direct traffic. Now it's in the hands of Nate Johnson. Haggerty. Another 3 attempt from Nate Johnson. This one goes in.
Nate Johnson, only 14% from 3 in the last 2 games. But if he's close to open, he's going to let it fly.
Tied up. Elias Rapia has checked into the game for the Wildcats, and he was part of that tie-up and brings in the possession arrow.
Let's take a look at the relocation right there by Micah Robinson, letting it fly from deep. And on the opposite side, Nate Johnson hasn't been shooting it well, but my man is more than capable. Instead of allowing games to slip out of their hands like they did in this last matchup.
K-State led by as many as 18 in that matchup at TCU. And TCU trying to win both games. Pierre off the mark with a 3. That's punched out all the way near midcourt. It's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be Kansas State ball. There is the interim head coach, Matthew Driscoll, who had been a longtime head coach at North Florida and decided to join Jerome Tang's staff this year. And now, obviously, with the firing of Tang, he's taken over.
I think he's done a good job. I mean, given the circumstances, I think he's done a pretty solid job. I mean, I love talking to Driscoll and just hearing the wisdom.
They forgot about McGriff. Nice feed from Nate Johnson. Kamari McGriff's flush ties it.
And the last time these 2 teams played, Nate Johnson had 13 points, but he also had 11 assists. And right there in the pick and roll, if the backside tag is not there, Nate Johnson will hit the open man every single time.
So a 5-0 run here for K-State. Levichis is in the game. Taurus Levichis, and he gets fouled.
And let's take a look at this, because Punch is running back off the hard hedge, but because his head is turned, Nate Johnson realizes that and throws an absolute laser for the easy flush.
That K-State foul was on Kamari McGriff, and that's 2 fouls on him now. About 5.5 minutes into the game, so that's going to bring Manning and C.J. Jones off the bench. McGriff and Castillo will come out. So McGriff, 2 fouls, sitting. LT, Notorious Levichis. It's a career points 500 and 501 for Levichis. Coming at the free throw line. Manning's now in a crowd. Back out. Nate Johnson was open for the 3. Elects to drive. Little floater from 10. Kicks off. Here's the point guard, Jaden Pierre, who didn't play a lot in their last game due to foul trouble against Arizona State. Levichis fires a 3. Aggressive rebound from Nate Johnson. Here comes Haggerty. Well ahead of steam. PJ splits a couple of defenders and kisses that in.
And that's where Kansas State excels. I mean, they are 8th in the country in adjusted tempo. They want to push the pace. They want to score in the first 10 seconds. And that's when they play their best brand of basketball, out in the open court in transition.
Steal by Nate Johnson. He's got Haggerty ahead of the field. Instead gets to C.J. Johnson. Foul as the shot was blocked away.
And one-on-one, whenever Haggerty has the basketball, you have to build a wall and load up. Because if you do not, Haggerty is skilled enough to be able to maneuver through the defense right there, goes through 2 TCU defenders, and somehow finds a way. We talk about one of the best drivers, one of the best attackers in the Big 12. That's why he averages 24 points a game.
That was his first bucket of the game today. And as you mentioned, averaging 24 to lead the team. He's also the leading rebounder, averaging 5 a game. And averaging about 35 minutes. One of the top scorers, not only in the Big 12, but in the nation, as Jones splits the pair. A 1-point lead for the Cats. Harding's pass intended for Lelevichus is picked off by Manning, and the ball movement, unable to keep it in bounds, was going well for a moment, and then the return pass was a little erratic, and they turn it over, and that's their third.
A little too unselfish right here by C.J. Jones. Although his momentum was running forward, I think he still could have gathered himself and just pulled it out if he wasn't able to shoot that layup.
TCU's done pretty well in the turnover department on the season. They average about a plus 2.6 a game. Here's Punch back out. Edmonds is open, so he'll shoot the 3 and swish it.
And that's something that he has grown over the course of a season. He's shooting 66 from 3 in the last 2 games. I mean, with his dominance down low and his ability to be able to shoot the 3 from behind the arc now, he's making for an unstoppable big.
That's his first bucket of the game for Edmonds, who leads their team in scoring at 15 a game. There's a 3 from the right corner. You know, the last home game for K-State was against Baylor, and Nate Johnson was 5 of 8 from 3 in that game.
And that's the one guy on this K-State team that you have to know where he is at all times. Him and Kostic, when he comes into the game, those are their best 2 shooters from behind the arc.
Harding flips it back out. Edmonds has to chase it all the way back near midcourt. Good defense from Haggerty, who sees an opportunity to try to force him in the backcourt. It doesn't work. But the shot clock's at 3 for Harding. Oh, Punch, big rebound. He has it blocked, but right to Lelevichus, who lays it in.
And we talk about the offensive glass. In the first matchup, this TCU team had 17 offensive boards. And right there, they have 2-on-1 possession.
Nate Johnson, that long pass over the top, he is deadly and found Haggerty. See the numbers, last 4 games for Johnson. That rattled out. We're happy to have Rapiak back. He came in, played in the Arizona State game. They're actually back in Colorado earlier in the week. Down low, Manning finishes and 1.
That was all set up by Nate Johnson. One of the most underrated parts about his game is his ability to be able to drop dimes. And when you can drop it, and that's fine or whatever. But the line is crossed, I think, when you talk about his character, because he's someone I've had a relationship with since I was 15 years old. So if anyone can attest to his character, it's me. Because when I've gone through some of the hardest moments of my life, Jerome Tang has been there for me and my family. So this whole narrative about his character and the school being embarrassed, I think it's fatuous and I think it's ludicrous. To me, Mark, it is 100% a cop-out.
Well said. Tanner Toulson in the game now for TCU. Edmondson passes to the corner. Punch. Shot clock about to wind down. They didn't get it off in time. That's their 4th turnover. And there's the interim head coach, Matthew Driscoll, who also, obviously, like Jerome Tang, has the Baylor ties in the coaching tree from Scott Drew.
You see another good defensive possession right there by Kansas State. I mean, their attention to detail on the defensive side has been on a different level so far.
Long 3 missed by Castillo. There's TCU with the ball down 3. Harding cut off there. 3 right side goes down for Toulson.
You want to talk about a guy, Mark, who has been absolutely on flames. I mean, the last 4 or 5 games, Toulson has scored in double figures. He's playing with a different level of confidence right now.
There's a turnover. That's their 4th. Harding, bounce pass. And the collision Punch gets knocked down to the deck. He is fouled.
And let's take another look At this Toulson three. Hand in his face or not, it doesn't matter. With the level of confidence that he's playing with, he's letting that thing fly.
That leaves Toulson, by the way, 3 points shy of 1,000 in his career. Another Saturday Hoops Mania rolls on with these featured matchups tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app. Number 20, Arkansas. 7th-ranked Florida. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern. And the night capped off with 9th-ranked Gonzaga and St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference. All coming up tonight on ESPN.
You know, Darius Acuff Jr. is one of the best guards in the country, if not the best guard. I mean, SEC Player of the Year probably, in my opinion. But we don't talk about this man enough. And what he is doing is unreal, arguably having the best season by any guard that's been coached by Coach John Calipari.
Seeing a lot of A's on Jeremy Wu's card there. Breaking down Acuff. It's a long two. C.J. Jones was one of the 4 seniors out here today for senior day. His first bucket is a 3.
And he hasn't scored it well, and nor does he really score it much on the season, but anything you get from him is definitely a plus.
Just his 12th made 3 of the season. Now a Robinson 3 rattles out for the Frogs. Here's Haggerty weaving his way through traffic, ran into Harding and just floats up a little teardrop that falls through, and he has 6.
And nobody in the Big 12 is better at stopping on a dime when you're driving to the cup like P.J. Haggerty. His ability to be able to plant on one foot, take his time, and put it in the air. Nobody does it as good as he does.
David Punch. This sophomore year he's having. Another drive by guess who, P.J. Haggerty, who of course started his playing career at TCU. His true freshman year in 2022-2023, played in 6 games and redshirted. And that started the journey that's led him to 4 different schools. There's C.J. Jones, just took it right away from Robinson. Now a 3 left side, well off the mark from Andre Kostic. Here's Harding. Brocca looks to take the 3. Had it lined up, it just kicked off the rim, and now Kostic able to grab the rebound, or was attempting to, when he gets fouled by Toulson.
And let's take a look at Haggerty in transition. This is what I mean. Look how he plants that right foot and completely throws the defender's momentum off. And right here, you have to build a wall when P.J. Haggerty is coming downhill. One-on-one is not good enough. He has to see bodies in transition.
Haggerty in the last home game here for K-State against Baylor had 34 points in his 38 minutes. He had 34 in that game. Nate Johnson had 33, which was a career high for Nate. Here is Nate with the ball. It's Pierre who has 1 foul and a high pass. Too high for Castillo. That's turned into 5 turnovers for the Cats.
And that's just great one-on-one defense right there by Pierre. He saw that Haggerty wanted to refuse the ball screen, so he beats him to the spot and puts Haggerty in an uncomfortable position, which leads to the turnover.
Jaden Pierre. Oh, the seas parted and left him an open shot, and he knocks down for his 2nd bucket.
Because he was initially looking for Edmonds on the lob, but when the defense stayed with him, he made the right decision.
Haggerty takes it to the corner. Rapiak 3 is short, and then it bounces over the backboard. That's going to take us to the under 8 timeout. Huge game for TCU in their tournament hopes. Right now, they trail it by 1 here with 8 left in the first half.
They've had some pretty big wins. So I think they could string some together during the stretch, maybe get 1 or 2 in the Big 12 tournament. I think this TCU team should be in.
Yeah, that weekend they spent in San Diego playing where they beat Florida and Wisconsin is serving them extremely well right now on their resume.
That Florida win becomes bigger week after week.
3 is good for Brock Harding. And that's his first basket. Gives TCU the lead.
And Mark, he's only 1 for 10 from 3 in the last 3 games. But his confidence never shies.
Yeah, the Arizona State game on Tuesday, Harding was 1 for 10 from the field and 0 for 5 from 3. But he was 8 of 11 from the free throw line and hit several key free throws late in that game to ice it. But a bucket here. The Wildcats back tied here. McGriff now 3 of 3 from the field. Hedge there by McGriff. Pierre kind of waiting here for Edmonds to do something just like that. And spin move to the baseline to lay it in. This guy has been a double-double machine the last month.
He's so skilled. I mean, right there off of the first bump, he can read where the defender is and spin the other way.
They got numbers here. Harding leaves it. Levichis is the one that lays it in. A little blind pass behind the back, giving him the assist. That qualifies as a fast break points. Haggerty directing traffic. Sophomore Castillo, his 4-point lead, largest of the game for TCU, and there's an Edmonds block. Grabbed by Pierre. Levichis had to wait, faked like he was going to lob it, missed the shot, loose ball grabbed off the deck. Now Nate Johnson has numbers here. Nice feed. PJ Haggerty lays it in. Timeout TCU.
Right now, Jamie Dixon is going right to Micah Robinson. Robinson felt like he should have got the ball on the 2-on-1. Did not get it. A 30 ball almost in every game in the last 5 games. One of the best bucket getters in all of women's college basketball.
TCU used their first timeout. Bounce pass. Levichis. Edmonds lays it in. And now suddenly you've got Xavier Edmonds. He has woken up now with 7 quick points. Xavier Edmonds has a double-double in 8 of his last 10 games. Long skip pass, Castillo, but has Harding in his face. Uses the baseline, gives it up. Rapiak finds the open man. Nate Johnson 3. Over the backboard into TCU.
And let's go back to the other side, because this right here is just a great drop-off. And Edmonds is one of the best bigs in the Big 12 when it comes to finishing through contact. I mean, he doesn't run away from it. He goes straight to it. And most of the time, he is the initiator, and he can just finish through.
Well, we asked Jamie Dixon at the shoot-around today, hey, well, what's changed for Xavier Edmonds here in the last 10 games with all these double-doubles? And being Jamie Dixon, he said not much. And then he reeled off 4 or 5 things that he has improved on in the last month. And he has really stepped up. There's a nice kiss off the glass from Jaden Pierre. He has 6.
And it's interesting, Mark, because when you look at it, it's hard for JUCO guys to really make the adjustment to this level. But Edmonds has done a tremendous job, and I mean, he's got in better shape. He's better on the defensive side. I mean, he's done a tremendous job.
Johnson, just what an effort, was in the corner, got out of traffic, used the left hand, and he has 8 points. Toulson, 1 and done for the Frogs that time. C.J. Jones, by the way, earlier we thought maybe that was a 3. Toes were on the line, so that got credited as a 2. Johnson looking again. Nate gives it up. C.J. Jones, step back, 3's up. Pierre bumps into Castillo, finds the open man. This is a David Punch 3. Edmonds keeps it alive for TCU. Levichis 3. That's off the front rim. Run out Haggerty down the middle of the floor. Just zips right to the rim and lays it in.
And once again, I mean, he's putting his end-to-end speed on display. There aren't too many guys in the country better than PJ Haggerty, going from one end of the floor to the other.
Crowd groaning there. It was an over-the-top pass from Edmonds to Punch, who had to adjust and was trying to make a one-hand catch. And they called a foul on K-State. Timeout with 3:26 to play first half.
In average possession length. So they're looking to score the ball quickly.
Harding swings it to Robinson. Micah, who made the starting in today, drives and scores. They put Micah Robinson back in the lineup. He came off the bench really to begin the season, but he's now started the last 6 games in a row.
20 points and 8 rebounds last game. I mean, one-on-one, if you cannot stay in front of the basketball, you put your back line of defense in a really tough spot.
3, and it goes in for Kostic. That's big. That's a shooter there, King, that if he gets hot, he can be a big weapon for K-State.
And he's 42% on guarded contested threes.
He blocks Toulson with the help of Manning, and staying with TCU with 17 to shoot.
And let's take another look at this, because he doesn't get too many clean looks. And there's always somebody in his hand. And once again, Mark, he shoots 42% on contested threes. One of the most underrated shooters in the conference.
Toulson. Toulson just a few points shy of 1,000 in his career. 3 points shy of that. Nate Johnson. He's going to continue to probe. Still plenty of time to shoot, and they get it to Haggerty. CJ will take a 3 this time. CJ's only hit 11 threes this year and about 20% make on the season. Once again, it's Robinson. Pierre tried to get it back to Punch, but it goes off a foot out of bounds still with TCU. You know, Jaden Pierre, he fouled out of the game against Arizona State on Tuesday night. That's the 5th time he's DQ'd from a game this year. He's going to take the long 3. Doesn't make it to the rim, partially blocked. Punched out by Toulson as Kostic was heading up the floor, and that's going to leave Toulson 1 point shy of 1,000 in his career. That's 5 points on the night for Tanner.
Man, thank God for Micah Robinson on that steal, because that was a bad shot right there by Jaden Pierre. You had about 7 seconds left. You could have really gotten a better look if you put your head down and try to penetrate and get to the rim.
Manning gets it back. 1 dribble. Patiently lays it in.
And that's the word right there, patience. Because off of that short roll, the defender did a good job of sliding over, but Manning took his time, wasn't in a rush, and was able to get the 2 points.
And it pulls K-State within 1 with just over a minute to go in this first half. Back cut, Toulson gets it back to Punch, and he scores. Punch now with 7 first half points. Kostic, skip past Pierre, almost came away with that.
Let's go back to this last bucket, because this is just a really good cut from David Punch. And Toulson, known as a driver, but he's just an overall good basketball player that makes good decisions time and time again.
Okay, State's going to use a timeout here with 45 seconds left in this first half in Manhattan. Out of the K-State timeout. See what Coach Driscoll has drawn up. Let's get Haggerty the ball and get him to the rim. That's a good play to call. He has 14 first half points.
And when you're guarding Haggerty, you have to know that his first step is extremely elusive. And he does a good job of creating angles, so you have to back up. Back up and play the jumper. Force him to show you that he can knock down a 3-point shot off of the dribble.
6-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Toulson gets the contact as Kostic, K-State foul with 8.5 seconds left.
And let's take a look at his first step, because he does a tremendous job of just getting angles. And you see that angle that he got. As soon as he feels you on his side, he just goes up to the rim, and we haven't seen him take 1-3 off of the dribble. So if you're TCU, I would go under all ball screens, and I would back up to alleviate his penetration to the rim.
You know what you also see with Haggerty on drives like that? You never see him get caught giving an elbow, get an offensive foul. He is so clean in getting himself to the rim.
I mean, he's really skilled getting downhill. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I mean, that step to where he stops on a dime and is able to plant on that foot. I mean, it reminds me of Maceo Teague, a guy who played at Baylor that Jerome Tane coached. But he had that same type of ability in his game when he drives to the rim. I mean, guys who aren't uber athletic, Mark, have to get creative when they get around the rim.
Those free throws for Tanner Toolson, the first one he made career point 1,000 and made it 1,001. Last half dozen seconds here. They have foul on Pierre. That's his second.
And I don't know if you wanted Jayden Pierre committing that foul. You probably wanted a guy like Posey inserted into the game and committing that foul, because now Pierre has two. And we talked about his foul problems earlier. But I do like the foul by Jamie Dixon, because P.J. Haggerty was going to have a head of steam to get downhill.
High pass for Manning, and now TCU is going to have an opportunity to get the final shot after K-State's 8th turnover. And still 5 seconds here.
And that's just bad execution right there by Kostic. I mean, you had Manning, I see what they were going for. You should have delivered that pass, but just bad end of half execution right there by Kansas State.
And now they give a foul here. Castillo stops it with about 3.5. That's number 2 on Castillo. That's the 6th team foul. So they had one to give. They do not now. Punch. 2, 1, 3 on the way, around and out. They got a good look though. And it's a 3-point lead. TCU in the black, K-State in the white. Home team has the ball to start the half. Castillo with.
Got to look down low. You have the mismatch.
You have Manning and Harding there. There, he gets the ball to Manning. He wants to take Harding deeper in the lane. Couldn't get the shot to go in off the glass. It's loose underneath, going after his own miss. Manning looking. Meanwhile, TCU's trying to tie it up, and they eventually do, and TCU does have the possession arrow here.
And Mark, that was a great job right there by Harding. I mean, one-on-one, he didn't allow Manning to be able to get that low post position. So if you see where Manning caught the ball, Harding was able to push him out all the way to the free throw line to not allow Manning to be able to get a good look. That's just toughness right there from your point guard.
You mentioned the mismatch. You got Manning at 6'7", Harding at 6 feet on the nose. And Harding held his ground well here. There's Pierre, 2 fouls in the first half. Michael Robinson taking Castillo in the lane, spinning off the glass, off the front rim, loose. He's able to get his own miss. Michael will take another opportunity, and this time get fouled. It's going to go on Castillo. That's number 3 on David Castillo.
And let's take a look, because in the first half, we talked about in the first time these two teams matched up, TCU had 17 offensive rebounds. Well, in the first half, they allowed 6. And in the first minute of this second half, you see one right there. So if Kansas State wants to win this game, they have to block out. Because this TCU team, when you look at Edmonds, Punch, and Robinson, they are always crashing the offensive glass.
So lead up to 5 for the Frogs. And Haggerty trying to cut into that, left it short. Harding fires across to Pierre. And a rebound for Edmonds. Here's Pierre passing up the open 3, but Edmonds will take it, and it's too long.
That was an unselfish play right there by Pierre, but I would have loved him to take that 3 instead of swinging to the one more.
Pierre has attempted and made more 3s than anybody on the TCU team coming in, and missed the bunny that time. K-State did. Manning, bounce pass, punch to the rim to lay it in.
And Harding does a tremendous job in transition, always knowing where his cutters are, even when he's ahead of them.
The lead pushed to 7, which is their largest so far. A Haggerty floater doesn't make it over the rim. Here's Pierre looking, sends it to the offside behind Robinson. He has to slow down. And then his pass back to Pierre is picked off by Nate Johnson. Nate behind the back.
Ooh.
Haggerty. Nice two-man game there.
Mark, Nate Johnson is an elite passer. I mean, he sees some things and makes some plays that have you saying, oh my. And right there, the behind the back pass in transition when you really don't have numbers. Goodness gracious.
That is 7 assists for Nate Johnson.
And let's take another look at this, because that pass was so nice. We got to see it twice right here. The behind the back, you really didn't have numbers. It was a 2-on-3 fast break. And I don't know how he was able to fit that through. But nonetheless, that's high level, and that's just a good 2 points.
You know, everything for Nate Johnson, from the time he stole that ball to the time he did the behind the back pass, he did it so gracefully and casually. There was no ever sense of panic, like, where am I going with the ball?
It just looks so easy for him.
It does. You hit it right on the head. He makes it look very easy. McGriff taking Edmonds down into the lane, shoots with the left hand around and in.
And we've seen that tonight from McGriff. I mean, his ability to be able to score on that block with either hand. I mean, right there, weak hand jump hook. Not many bigs can be able to have that finish in their arsenal.
That 7-point lead quickly cut down to 3. Just over 3 minutes into this second half. Lob over the top. Robinson now bumps into Manning, shoots, and Manning got a hand on that. Here comes Nate Johnson. And that time, Nate's pass off to Mark Castillo coming back towards him. A rare miscue for Nate Johnson in the passing department.
And we talk about how great of a passer he is, but sometimes he tries to put a little too much on it. And I think that's one of the main reasons why in the last 3 games, he's had 14 turnovers. Because as good of a passer as he is and as many times as he connects, sometimes he tries to do just a little too much.
Yeah, the Colorado game on Wednesday night had 3 assists, 7 turnovers. Pierre shovels it underneath. Levichis laying it in. He has 8. That's a deep 3 from Castillo off the heel. Tipped by Punch to himself, and David will advance it into the front court. Punch. Nate Johnson. Whistle came a little bit late, but came from the main official, Darren White. After the contact, jarred the ball free. Elias Rapiak's going to check back in, number 0 for K-State, who missed a number of games in concussion protocol, missed 11, came back against Colorado in their last game, and really made a big difference as soon as he came onto the floor. Toulson was alone for a moment. Now Edmonds comes away with it, and Edmonds fouled. So Edmonds is going to have the free throws on the other side of this timeout. We're at the under 16. TCU up by 5.
In points, they go into Ames, hang 82 in Ames, and they out-rebound Iowa State. Grant McCaslin severely underrated.
Arizona, with their win over KU and Tucson, have clinched at least a share. You see Tech and Houston are the only teams that have a chance to catch them with 2 games left. So Arizona just needs to win one of their last 2, and they would have it outright. And the free throw missed. First one from Xavier Edmonds, shooting 2 coming out of the timeout. By the way, Cincinnati won today. That was a game, Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. 2 teams kind of on the fringe of the bubble, and a big win for Cincinnati. They aren't out of the question of getting their way into the NCAA tournament.
I do think Cincinnati has a chance. You have to string together a few more wins and maybe grab 1 or 2 in the Big 12 tournament. But I do think Cincinnati has a chance to get in.
By the way, the crowd was so excited about the 2 free throw misses because they just won some kind of food item. So that the students are really excited about that. Nate Johnson finding the range from 3 to cut the TCU lead down to 2. Edmonds doubled, passes out. Pierre, open three. Down low, Rapiek kicks out. C.J. Jones three. Tipped around, and Johnson almost able to tip that in was McGriff. 8 rebounds now for Edmonds. It's an open three, Toulson. And that stems the tide for TCU, who had a 7-point lead, cut to 2, and now it's back to 5. Big crowd there, and McGriff wanting a foul, and instead they say it's out of bounds off Kamari McGriff.
Yeah, that was a lot of contact right there. Maybe TCU got away with a foul. Let's take a look right here. Yeah, that's probably a foul on the floor for sure.
He took at least one bump on the arm from Robinson in that sequence, so he didn't look like he was trying to get the shot up at that point, nonetheless. Toulson's in double-figure scoring today. His spin move gets him to the rim. He got a little tip. He and Levichis been effective down low. That's 10 points now for LT.
Well, they do the little things and they don't overcomplicate the basketball game. They're excellent cutters. They drive closeouts and they take the right shot whenever they're open.
Johnson takes it all the way under to the right wing. Three, Rapiek. Elias Rapiek is back in his first bucket of this game.
And that's what he provides for this Kansas State team when he's on the floor. He's a stretch big with excellent feel.
His 9th made 3 of the season. Almost stolen by Nate Johnson. Harding kicks. Robinson steps into Rapiek and finds the open man. The 3 from the right wing, not there for Toulson. Backed up by C.J. Jones. Dangerous. Well, Punch commits the foul, but it was not a great pass to McGriff. That's 3 on Punch.
Yeah, he definitely got bailed out, Mark, because he didn't even have the angle right there. He definitely got bailed out by that pass, by the foul. But if you're C.J. Jones, you have to lower that, get the ball below the free throw line, and allow McGriff to at least be able to create an angle so you can have a clean pass.
We saw a 3rd foul on David Punch. He's the first TCU player to 3. You have Castillo on the K-State side, who just came back off the bench, who has 3 as well for K-State. Jones. I don't know if he intentionally was going behind his back or not, but fortunate he didn't lose it. Castillo jab step with 5 to shoot. David to Rapiek, and now Rapiek another 3, a desperation one, and he somehow got that to go in off the glass from that angle. Back-to-back 3s for Rapiek.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good.
And the lead is down to 1 for TCU. They get a foul on Rapiek at the other end on the hold of Edmonds.
Let's take a look at this right here, because the play was going absolutely nowhere. So you put Rapiek in a place in which he just has to throw it up, and you make a shot like that, you better look up and thank somebody.
Those can be the low pressure shots, because you know you got to shoot it with a shot clock winding down. Say, hey, I got no choice but to shoot it here. Robinson. Battling again, he takes it away, and Robinson scores and 1, but Jamie's unhappy. Jamie Dixon with a call not called prior to that entire sequence, but it worked out well for his team that it wasn't called.
Well, he thought that Robinson got fouled on the initial drive. Robinson does a really good job of just sticking with the play and not giving up. Yes, you missed the floater, but what do you do in response? You get the steal, and it leads to an and 1. I mean, that's what you want to see from a guy like Michael Robinson, which is one of the reasons why he's in the starting lineup and he's playing the best basketball of his career right now.
Castillo committed the foul, so that's 4 on him. He goes right back out. Robinson can't finish the three-point play. Nate Johnson flashes it to Haggerty's 3. Edmonds another rebound. That gives him 9. He's closing in on another double-double. Robinson. Nate Johnson fell down. He has time to get back up with still 15 to shoot for the Frogs. Edmonds wanting to go to work instead of kick out, and it's a Robinson 3. Down 3 with the ball with Haggerty. PX, who's hit a couple threes off the bench here in this half. Rapiak, kick. Line pass underneath from CJ to Manning. Can't hit. Ball rolling all the way back to midcourt. Harding goes crashing into the legs of Rapiak. Good hustle by Brock Harding, but commits the foul.
And that's one way you get hurt.
The TCU women's team. K-State down 3. Not quite midway through this second half. Johnson stops, pulls up in the lane. Kicks off, but Manning had it for a moment. Loose. Rapiak jumping in, but it's Edmonds who has it for TCU as well, and it's tied up. Possession arrow favoring K-State. Again for TCU, they started today as one of Lenardi's last 4 in. They upgraded to one of the last 4 buys before tip-off here today. They lead it by 3. K-State's missed their last 5 shots from the field. Haggerty and Pierre. PJ 4 to shoot. Got that kind little bump off the back rim.
And that's just a good play right there, and good awareness by PJ Haggerty of knowing I need a bucket. So let me get to that Big 12 logo. Let me get to the middle of the paint and get to my spot to be able to get one for my team. That's just high awareness right there by one of the best guards in the Big 12.
Haggerty's got a game-high 18 points. That's a 3. Levichus a miss. Loose, and just as Haggerty grabbed it, Toulson got bumped out of bounds and was fouled.
Yes, you get cut off right here. You just get to the paint. And you know you have the size advantage, so you just rise up over the top. I mean, offensive awareness to know when I need a bucket, where can I go on the floor to be able to create one for my team.
That foul was on Haggerty as first, but it's the 6th team foul of the half. Toulson 3 is pure. Tanner Toulson, 13 points. Now Haggerty, ball gets loose, is able to get it back, somehow swung it around a Jones. Nate Johnson with the left hand scoring.
That's just an excellent way to drive a closeout. Read the defending big who's protecting the rim and just veer away from him. Open again from the same spot, but Toulson short this time, and the rebound hauled away by Manning. Manning's got 7 boards today. Over the top, Manning. Looks like he got fouled on the backside by Toulson. Nice rainbow entry pass there to get it to Manning. And Johnson just does a really good job off the pick and roll. Look at where he puts the basketball. He sees that Toulson's head is turned, so he just throws it up to only where Manning can get it. And that right there shows why Johnson is such an elite level passer.
A miss on the first free throw for Manning. He hasn't shot many free throws, 24 on the year coming in, and it 75%. Punch is coming back in. You may notice that he's wearing 41 now. His number 15 jersey got ripped, so they had to change jerseys, which gives him a new number for the rest of the game. First K-State free throws of this second half. And Manning splits the pair. K-State pulls it within one. Harding back to punch. David steps into it off the back rim. With a rebound from Manning. They'll give him 8. Haggerty bumps into Toulson, tried to dump it to Manning. Edmonds will have none of that as he rips it right away. Muscles it ahead to Toulson. Tanner lay in, no. And now the other way is P.J. Haggerty.
And I like this right here by Haggerty. Pull the ball out. Don't be in a rush. The last few possessions have been sloppy. So control the tempo and just slow it down right here.
Bucket here can give K-State the lead. Johnson going up with it. Yeah, Harding, very fast hands, really generates that turnover.
And this is what you have to do if you're a small guard. The smaller you are, the quicker your hands have to be. Because Johnson can rise up over the top with his size and his elevation on the jumper. But Brock Harding doesn't even allow him to get it off because his hands are cat quick.
See the points off turnovers for TCU, 18 turnovers, or 18 points, I should say. Off those turnovers. Harding in the air to punch. David. He's fouled. K-State, possession that last time up the floor, had a chance to take their first lead since about the 8-minute mark of the first half. Manning just picked up his 3rd foul. Well, our Saturday Hoops Mania rolling on later with our featured matchups tonight on ESPN and the app. Number 20 Arkansas, 7th-ranked Florida. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, and the night capped off 9th-ranked Gonzaga and St. Mary's taking you out to the West Coast Conference to close out the night on ESPN.
Florida getting hot at the right time. You know, just figuring it out.
We mentioned the resume for TCU and that win over Florida. Such a huge one. They won on November 27th. Florida was ranked 10th at the time. 84-80 TCU was the final, and Florida came in 7th in the AP poll this week. So that's a win that has been arguably their best, even with the win against Iowa State. And that's held up well. You got Iowa State, who lost today. They were number 4 in the nation coming in. Punch. And you can tell the arm got hit because the shot went up over the top of the backboard. So it's going to take us to the under 8 timeout. Huge game. Punch shooting 2 at the line. And again, Punch wearing number 41 now as his 15 jersey got ripped earlier in the half. Hits them both, and that's 13 points for the sophomore David Punch. Takes the lead back to 5. K-State's had turnover issues. They turned it over 6 times in this second half, which has directly led to 8 TCU points. TCU's only turned the ball over 1 time in this second half. Kick to the corner. Kostic.
Right there, we call that the drift pass. Whenever somebody drives baseline, you have to have somebody in the opposite side corner to bail them out, and Kostic gets to that opposite side and just knocks it down.
His second made 3 of the game. Edmonds 3 off the heel on rebound. Levicius. Harding now is open, and Brock's 3. Good. Splash.
I love Harding's celebration when he hits a 3. It's giving rock star vibes.
I was going to say he went instantly heavy metal with whatever that, with the hands and the facial expression. Harding defending Nate Johnson. Nate wants to back him down, but looking like Edmonds wants to help perhaps. But now Manning's trying to shoot over Edmonds, and not only does he block it, he takes it right away. Keeps it in play and feeds Harding. Another turnover And 10th rebound for Harding. Ball movement takes it. Levitchis who hits it from the baseline, and he has a dozen. Levitchis' bucket causes K-State to call a timeout as the lead is up to 7.
TCU rolling right now. Harden for Trey. Just knocking it down, and
there's the first meeting, a game that K-State led for all but the last 7 seconds of the game. It was enough for TCU to come away with a win. K-State has not led since they were up 23-22 in this game at the 8:06 mark of the first half. They got within 1 here in the second half. But the lead right now of 7 for TCU equals their largest of the game. To Nate Johnson 3. And he quickly cuts that down to 4. He has 16 points.
And that's just inside-out basketball. Once again, Haggerty gets into the middle of the lane and kicks out to a shooter.
Nate's 4th made 3 today. And a dangerous bounce pass by Punch is picked off by K-State. One of the few turnovers in this half. Kostic tried to buy a foul. His 3's missed. Harding did not like the contact he got from Haggerty before heading up the floor, and now away from the ball, a stoppage. A foul on McGriff. That's his 4th.
And I didn't necessarily see what happens, but that's just not a smart foul right there by McGriff.
Well, he's thinking it was a flop, but he got called for a foul instead.
I mean, regardless of flop or not, I mean, you put yourself in that scenario to now give TCU 2 free throws when they weren't even in position to score the basketball.
So he hits the front end. Let's take a look here. Ooh. All right, that's why he was.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact right there. And maybe he did get away with a little bit of a flop, for sure. But nonetheless, they typically always catch the second person. That's what we were always taught. The second person's the one that always gets caught, Mark.
He misses the second free throw, so 1 of 2. 8 points, 10 rebounds for Edmonds, who's trying to find another double-double, a couple points shy. Still plenty of time, just under 5 minutes to go, and the lead is 5 for TCU. Castillo playing with 4 fouls, fake the 3, drives, and 1 for Castillo, his first points of the night. Coming at a big time for the Wildcats.
And no better time for them to come. Look how he drives this closeout. And he goes straight through the chest of David Punch. I mean, Punch is one of the best rim protectors in the Big 12. And right there, I thought Punch was honestly straight up. He didn't bring his hands down.
And that's his 4th foul, so he comes out. And Castillo at the line to try to finish off the 3-point play and make it a 2-point game. And he does just that. That 7-point lead for TCU is diminished to 2. And that's bringing the Bramlage crowd back into this. Tremendous feed. Edmonds didn't get the shot to fall, but he'll shoot 2.
Harding gets to his stop, realizes that the tag isn't there. Look at PJ Haggerty on the backside. That's who he's reading. If you don't step over, he can make that beautiful bounce pass right there, which puts Edmonds in position to get to the free throw line.
And Xavier right back at the line where he just split a pair. It's the first one to go. Kostic in for C.J. Jones for K-State. Toulson to check in for TCU, taking Levitchis' spot. Swishes the next, so 10 points, 10 rebounds And that's a double-double for Xavier Edmonds, and as you see, 9 of the last 11 games now.
He's been terrific. I mean, I'd argue that Punch and Edmonds are the most underrated front court in the Big 12.
That's not the first time you've said that this year.
I will keep saying it. I will keep reiterating that.
I don't doubt it one bit. Here's Harding. Streaking Edmonds. He just came flashing right through the lane out of nowhere and laid it in. Still a 2-possession game. Now Haggerty loses it. Turnovers have been a bugaboo here in the second half for K-State, and Edmonds finishes again. And suddenly, TCU has their largest lead of the game of 8 as the turnovers have mounted here for K-State in the second half.
Xavier Edmonds getting it done on both sides, not just offensively. Defensively as a big, can get the steal, run out in transition, and just make it look easy. Xavier Edmonds is on a... He's been phenomenal, Mark. Can you make the jump from JUCO to this level of basketball? It doesn't always translate, but for Edmonds, it has.
Excellent list. Well constructed.
You know, honorable mentions, Mo Odom, Parsafala, for sure, Honor Huff. But I think those 5 guys should be the ones on the list.
TCU thought maybe they had another K-State turnover, but instead a TCU foul. It's been the K-State turnovers that really are the difference. They've turned it over 16 times. TCU's turned those 16 turnovers into 26 points. And he got in the air, asked for a timeout, came down out of bounds, and he doesn't get the timeout. It's a turnover, and that's turnover number 17.
And this is the one thing that Jamie Dixon has done in the second half to really cause chaos. And PJ Haggerty has struggled with it. They're hard hedging, they're blitzing, we call it a blitz. They're blitzing the ball screen every single time PJ Haggerty comes off. And we've seen them have about 2 or 3 turnovers. So right there, credit to Jamie Dixon for the ball screen adjustments that he has created, he's made in the second half.
There was a time many years ago you could call a timeout while falling out of bounds. They changed that a while back. And there's Harding. And now TCU has found some momentum, really, for the first time in this game, to open up a 10-point lead with an 8-0 run. Now K-State desperately needing a basket. Johnson's 3 off the heel. Coming up on 2.5 minutes left, and now TCU, the clock is their friend. They can slow things down.
And for TCU, you're not in a rush. I mean, this last 2:30, you want to be able to take good quality looks, because if you turn the ball over or take bad shots, that can allow Kansas State to get out in transition.
Shot clock down to 5. Pierre 3, round it out. Edmonds pulls away the rebound, and they're content to eat some more clock here. Well, Toolson's not. He's going to drive with 13 on the shot clock and get fouled. Should be on Kostic. And that's here to give it to McGriff, and that's going to be his 5th. And he's going to foul out of a game for the 5th time this year. So Kamari McGriff, one of the 4 seniors honored today for Senior Day. He fouls out 8 points, was 4 of 6 from the field with 3 rebounds in his 18 minutes. And the points off turnovers really are the story in this game. TCU, 28 points off the 17 K-State turnovers.
I mean, your backcourt and Nate Johnson and PJ Haggerty have a combined 11 of the 17 turnovers.
Yeah, between those two, 15 assists, but as you said, 11 turnovers countering that. So the free throw makes it 76-65 as we come up on the 2-minute mark on this big game for TCU, trying to keep that tournament resume. And already had him as one of the last 4 buys coming into this game after starting early today as one of the last 4 in. Kostic 3 is a miss. Another rebound for Edmonds. And now TCU They need some more clock with the ball in an 11-point lead.
And Mark, to your point about the turnovers, I think a part of that was due to the ball screen coverage Jamie Dixon adjusted, or Davey Dixon changed to in the second half, because I mean, 7 out of those 11 turnovers between the two guards came in the second half.
Now TCU turns it over. Harding's able to swat away that long pass down the court intended for Haggerty. Harding's trying to say it actually went off Haggerty, and apparently he has sold Jamie Dixon to ask for them to take a look at this on the monitor.
Right there, the TCU coaches are saying they aren't sure. They're not 100% certain, because typically you look at your replay guy and you ask him, hey, should we challenge this? But because they have timeouts left, they said they were unsure about who it went off of, but they might as well.
Is under review.
All right, call on the floor is that it's off Brock Harding. Did Haggerty get a fingertip, part of the hand on this? This baseline look may give us a different perception. Did you see anything that's going to overturn the call here?
I don't see anything conclusive.
It very well may have hit the fingers of Haggerty, but it's not enough to overturn the call on the floor.
And that's the biggest thing, is that you're right. It might have hit Haggerty's hands, but I don't think it's obvious enough for the referees to change the call.
It's like a court of law. It's not what happened, it's what you can prove happened. and it certainly, Harding was very prolific in wanting, hey, I mean, let's do this. And again, as you said, they had the timeout to give. If so, they're up 11, getting late. So Jamie Dixon, why not? Though there's a guy who sits there with a monitor, you know, that most of the times that every team has, that the coach will look to and say, hey, should I do this? That individual is like, undecided.
We could maybe tell from this angle, it might have grazed it, but there's just nothing conclusive there. Right?
You said it. It's not conclusive.
Not
at least for what we're seeing. Well, the three-man crew here, Darren White, Robert Felder, Tyler Kump, their opinions are the ones that matter here. And if you're K-State, you're just hoping this gets upheld.
After further review, the call plays as stand.
There you go. It stands. So it will be K-State ball. It's been a 9-0 run here for TCU over the last 3 minutes. And obviously K-State hasn't scored during that run. They've turned it over 3 times in the last 3.5 minutes. They need a bucket here badly. Kostic at Toulson right on him, and that's Harding getting a steal. They don't need a quick shot. They need want to eat clock. Make that 18 turnovers for K-State. Again, that's been the big story. Minute to go.
1 minute.
And TCU looking like, as Harding's 3, a Manning rebound. A win here means of the 3 teams that they have played twice this year in Big 12 play, they will have swept all 3. Baylor, Oklahoma State, and now K-State. It would be the second time they've done that, but the first since 2018 if TCU hangs on to this lead. TCU has to go to Texas Tech on Tuesday night. And they finish up at home against Cincinnati next Saturday to finish the regular season. Manning missed the free throw. 7 points for him today, but a career high 10 rebounds. So last 4 buys, TCU is in there. Texas beat Texas A&M just before our game.
A&M lost today. So I would assume that a win would maybe slide TCU over an A&M team.
You know, you never know how it's going to play out, but from a TCU perspective, this win right here, yeah, they could lose their last 2 games in this regular season, and regardless of what they do in the Big 12 tournament, still make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to feel a lot better if you win one of these next two to finish the regular season, and then maybe go to Kansas City and win a game or two or more.
And the Texas Tech one is going to be tough, with especially, I mean, how well they're playing right now. I mean, they're playing with some confidence, and that's going to be tough to go into Lubbock and pull off that win. But the Cincinnati one is also going to be a sleeper one for them, because Cincinnati needs that win more than they need that win in order to get to the tournament. So they'll have a tough 2 games to finish out the regular season.
Well, Edmonds, another double-double. 15 points. He's tied a career high with 13 rebounds. There's that remaining schedule. There were just segments of this game where Xavier Edmonds just took over a couple of times.
And offensively and defensively. We saw him be able to get into the lanes and get steals, which led to transition layups. But I mean, Edmonds has just been so terrific, and he doesn't get enough love.
We got Virginia Tech, North Carolina coming up next. West Durham, Dennis Scott on the call of that as we finish things up here in Manhattan. K-State does have another home game left. They host West Virginia Tuesday night, a game you can see on ESPN Plus, and then they play at Kansas next Saturday for what will be the end of their regular season. So 77-68, TCU will be the final, and Horned Frogs improved to 19-10 overall, 9-7 in conference play. Let's update the Big 12 standings. TCU did what they had to do today.
And on the defensive side,